So everybody, welcome to this for 11th of September Open Office Hour meeting. And today officially I will take over the responsibility of Dimitar, which he was previously hosting. And since this onwards, I will just host the calls. Despite of fact that Jochen is also not here, so he will be back next week. But that's a different story. And you can see we have an agenda. Just three bullet points that we have. The two of them are just related, and the last one is something we can think of it. But maybe we can start with the first one, as we already have discussed last in call specifically for validating Nobel stem cell, and this is something that we have done it for the GCP, and it works fine. But the only issue is now is popping up when we integrate this one into the Harmony, and which is running on AWS, and it is failing. Dimitar has already opened, and he's following up this with the Bosch and also in the community. And now the issue is that we have either two options. Either we keep it in the pipeline, but this has a drawback because it keeps us blocked from releasing a CF version. And you can see this happened last week. And you can see that it was consecutively red, and Dimitar has just reverted these changes back, and we let this pipeline green, and that's why we were able to cut it. So now we have, this issue. And now the thing which we want to propose is that we should create a dedicated pipeline that what we have as a for GCP, validated there, confirm what is the issue and resolve it. And then later on, when we are done with that one, we can merge back into the main pipeline. So this is something, maybe Dave, we can discuss. Is there any issue from your side or concerns regarding this validation? Because we don't want to keep the main pipeline block, and sometimes you need releases on emergency basis or something, but this is something we have seen it. So we propose that maybe we should also have a dedicated pipeline that what we have it for GCP, for AWS also, until we find out the root cause.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, we want to make sure that it is expected to pass before we fully integrate it and have it block safe deployment releases.
Right. Dimitar, did you want to talk about the second bullet point, which is the follow-up?
Maybe some comments from my side. I think
Mhm.
the issue is currently addressed, that we have with the validation. And maybe before we spend now the efforts creating a separate pipeline, as if possible, and dependent on the logs and ticket that we have, maybe already the issue could be fixed without creating a separate one. So I would either say maybe we wait a little bit until we have feedback from the colleagues if they can fix it. And then we test it again with Hermione. If it comes then to a longer, let's say, activity, also means that the issue is quite complex and we need all the time and have tests and retest and they fix stuff and many iterations, so to say, or maybe even other issues are coming up, then I think it's time to create a separate validation pipeline. Or doesn't this make sense any at all from your side? I just wanted to avoid that we start with creating now another validation pipeline, spend the effort there, and maybe this fix that issue that is currently addressed could quickly be fixed, and then we are okay, and we can then switch back, use the new release or the fix in the Hermione, test it once again, and if we are okay, then we are good. And if not, then I think we can go with the separate pipeline.
Yes,
Dimitar,
also.
But
maybe any comments from Dimitar?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Dimitar was closest to the topic and opened the ticket. Maybe what's your opinion on that?
Yes, my opinion is also same as the Oliver's opinion, because we can try for 2-3 weeks to fix the issue with the Bosch colleagues and try to validate it again manually on the Hermione environment. This will show us if it works or not, and then we can, if we are on the safe side, we can easily update the safe deployment pipeline and give it another try in our automation. So from my point of view, it makes sense to work 1 or 2 weeks with the Bosch colleagues and then try to validate to deploy manually Cloud Foundry on Hermione. Because on the other case, my concern is if we have appropriate bubble environment for that. Which environment we can use in that case?
Okay, I think so. We have only one development environment. I think so. It's Maxime that we can use, but I think so.
That
It's on
we can use it.
GCP. But that's a GCP one. It's not the
Yes,
AWS one.
yes.
Right.
I mean, regarding the AWS, do we have such an environment
I mean, we
which
can
can be
spin it
used
up
in a
also.
dedicated pipeline?
I think so. We can spin it up, or maybe we could see. I think so. There is one of them.
I
I
think
need
we'd
to
have to
find.
create a new one.
Yes, there were environments, div, and we have Hagrid, but it's not used a
I
long
don't
time.
think
But
we-
Mm.
I'm not
but
sure
I know
Heinrich
Maxime.
still exists. Yeah.
And it is also a matter of cost. Not sure about this cost reduction.
Right. Yeah, I
If
mean,
it
the
is allowed.
question is this going to be an environment that's going to be consistently, or something that's going to be deployed, see what the problem is, and then tear it down again?
Yes, I think so. We have it here in the
Because
infrastructure.
if it's
Yeah, here.
if it's the latter, then you could just claim Hermione and use Hermione and temporarily block the pipeline, and then when you're
Yeah.
done testing, release it, and the pipeline would carry on. But if you want to have something that is going to be constantly running for 2 weeks, then we definitely need to spin something up, I think.
That is what I was doing. I was using Hermione in the window where the pipeline is not running. I mean,
Right.
from the early morning until 2 p.m. in the afternoon. That was the window I was using. And after that, yeah.
Because we have the pipeline running once a day now. So once it's finished,
Yeah,
you know it's not
it's
going to be
free.
used
Yeah,
until the next
it's free
run.
for
So
experimenting. Yeah. And it is yeah, very easy also to update the pipeline just with one update concourse update command. You can switch from the old version of the pipeline definition to the new one.
All right.
This is the second option.
All right. All right. Then I think so. We have an agreement on this one, how to proceed. And I was just only concerning because manual thing. This happened last week. Just let me bring. I think so. There was a pull request I already created. It was
You mean that the environment was not in a good shape after all?
Yes, that was also a thing. So you have to completely tear
I
it
will
down.
explain. I will explain why this happens because it was proposed from the Bosch colleagues to recreate the director on that environment. And that is why I managed to break the environment. Before that, when I was experimenting the environment just to deploy Cloud Foundry, there was no any issues.
Okay.
But we started to experiment with the Bosch there, and that is why we managed to break the environment.
Okay. Then if you're aware of it, then it's fine because this happened last time. So we completely tore it down and then recreated it. And now it works fine. But if we are aware of
You're
it, that
right.
this was causing it, so I think so we're good to go. We keep it as it is and we follow what we agreed.
Yeah, you're right. It's a bit risky, but yeah, we can give it a try. All right.
Maybe something else. As if we then have finally validated on GCP as well, Noble, and all the tests are running through, Dave, we want also then go to make this a mandatory step for CF updates, also that the Noble validation runs through. I think this is okay, no? We have just these two hyperscalers where we tested. If there's something coming urgent for an update, we still can pass it through. We should come to a situation where we say, okay, now Gemi and Noble must be validated now for this Cloud Foundry update. Now this is what we want to come. I think we still have to leave the other bubble ends on Gemi so that we guarantee compatibility between. Also, so that we let run the tests for with Gemi stem cell on the other bubble ends, and then we have these two bubble ends, Dobby and experimental Hermione, which is running on Noble, and I think then we have a good test coverage or sufficient test coverage, I would say. Or do you see that we miss here something?
No, I think that makes sense. And then I guess the next question is to decide when we switch the default stem cell over to Noble and make Jammy an option.
There is, we had here an internal discussion, and there was the proposal to do it like it was done for Jammy, the switch towards the Jammy, and this was 1 year before end of life of the Ubuntu release. Also in this case, end of life for Jammy, which is still, I think, 2 years in front of us, no? So that we maybe switch somewhere mid of the next year, then as default stem cell to Noble.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, good. Then back to Aftab. Next topic. Aftab? Are you muted or?
Oh, yes, I was muted.
Okay.
Typical. Okay. So I think so we are good to go with this one. Dimitar, do you have anything for the Bosch issue that you created? Any updates from there, or we already discussed and we can move on to the next?
Regarding the Bosch issue, we have tried many things with the Bosch colleagues, but without any results. I managed to collect the walks they have requested from us, but no one can say based on the walks what is happening with the Bosch agent on the virtual machine and why it doesn't respond. And we also tried, there was an assumption that the virtual machines are not enough as a capacity, and we tried to increase the virtual machine type, but it also doesn't provide any positive result. And the last proposal is that to collect the system DWalks from the virtual machine and see what if we have something special there as a sign for the issue, but I didn't manage to catch the colleagues today. They are too busy with some escalations, and we didn't manage to have a look on that. But this is again just assumption.
Did we cross-check the sizes of the VMs with what we tested on GCP?
Yes, what we did before that is to compare with the GCP VMs, and we saw that there is a difference between them. That is why I decided to adjust the virtual machine type, but without success here. That is why we also recreated the Bosch director there, because yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then we just follow
Okay.
up on that.
Yeah, we will continue to work on that with the colleagues. As I know from Ange and from Ramon, that they have discussed that on the working group meeting, the foundational infrastructure, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, this is the last proposal to check the system DevOps.
I think as Stefan is in the call, the infrastructure meeting was just before this meeting, or maybe Stefan, do you have an update? Brand new update?
Well, actually, I was on the infrastructure meeting. Unfortunately, the participation was a bit weak, so it was only Beyan and yeah, Katharina and me, and we wanted to talk about some storage keys thingy, but there was no, and there were no topics talked about.
Okay, good. Then. All right, then let's go to the next.
All right. Thank you, Dimitar, for the updates. Maybe the second last topic is about the inactive users, as called in the community. I was just curious about this PR, whether this was created manually or it's the bot action that triggers at certain time and it removes inactive users. And it just got triggered because when I was looking at the approvers, I could see Carson left the group, but still he is there. So this begs the question that how and who triggered this one, or this is something it has to be done or not. Some inactive users in this teams, and so also other ones. So any thoughts on this one?
Oh, so it removed Carson from the org, but not from the team.
Yeah, I could see. I could see it here in the approvers and in the main team.
Right. But I didn't see him in the list of inactive users in the PR. I was just trying to scan it as you were scrolling through it. But yeah, it feels like if it is automation that's handling that, then it should be able to handle removing those users from teams. I don't know.
This is not done automatically. The automation detects inactive users, but then it creates a PR for removing them from the Cloud Foundry org. But it does not try to edit the teams. So that's why there's just there's a report about which users are in which team and which are inactive. And then the expectation was that the work group leads take care of this and create some PRs and remove them from the teams.
Got it. Okay. So we need to open a PR to do that.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay, then we can do that one.
Yeah.
And the last one is the CATS new release.
Yeah, I merged a couple of PRs for colleagues end of last week that have passed and are now on release candidate, and I wanted to ask if there was anything that would prevent us from cutting a release.
Nothing specifically. I think so. Just these only bumps, but I think so we can do it.
Okay, I can look at the bumps and merge anything there that can go in, and then wait for the pipeline to go green, and then I'll
yes, these I think so. I take care of them, but mostly these bumps was a little bit tricky because one of the repo was bumping this GitHub action, and in the end of the day, they have changed something the way the tool chain from the goal manages the Go thing. But in the end of the day, it works out. So we have to be careful with this one. And I think so this is also bumping the major Go version. So that's why I just left it for now, so we don't block it anything. But if these are merged, we can just release it. And I think so we also agreed on this fact that we try to release new cards every month, so it's exactly 1 month, so we are good in a position to get a new CF. So I don't think so we have any objections.
Okay, I'll take a look at those then.
All right. I
Yes,
think
okay.
so. That's the end of the topics that we want to discuss. Does anybody have any other topic that we should discuss, or
Dave,
Okay.
do you come to the Cloud Foundry Day in Frankfurt? Do you have budget and the ticket?
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get budget to fly over. It would be nice,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
yeah, no, sadly not. Not
we-
this time. Maybe next year. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe next time.
I'd have
Okay.
to sell some of my Oracle shares and pay for it myself. No.
That's the new way, no, in the companies
Yes.
that you have to pay your own tickets.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Then
Cool. So then
Right.
have a nice rest of the day, and
Thanks,
yeah,
everyone.
see you in
Thanks
2
to you.
weeks. Yeah.
bye bye.
Bye.